All right, joining us now, Missouri Senator Eric Schmitt, right here on set. Senator, thank you ever so much for doing this. Can I just want to go through this Politico story. Somehow, Politico denies everything. So where are these rumors coming from? USAID either helped them with subscription money, which helps them stay in business, Politico, or some estimates are it was not 8 million, it was 34 million and change. President Trump talked about it today, said they were basically paying Politico to toe the party line, the Democratic Party line. And anyway, the point is, what were they doing getting any money anyway from USAID?
Millions of dollars for subscriptions from USAID. And then, by the way, it's very much of a toe the company line, the regime's narrative all the time. Anyway, and by the way, you don't have to look too far. I mean, during the censorship enterprise that we uncovered in my lawsuit, the Missouri versus Biden one, this was federal agencies working with big tech, too. So they were spreading the money around to get their narrative. But I think the political thing, as crazy as that is, like, you still had millions of dollars going to sex change operations in Guatemala. You have, trans comic books and trans operas and DEI training in Burma. I mean, this stuff is insane. And I think this is the fight we want, Larry. I love that they're running around continuing to talk about this because people have been waiting for this kind of reform in government and accountability at the federal level. And let's do it now. Federal
government hasn't been audited, I don't know, since 1940 or something.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, nothing like this has ever happened. The fact that the liberal Democrats, left-wing Democrats are holding rallies hanging Elon Musk in effigy, I find to be a wonderful thing. It shows you Musk's doing a great job, exactly what President Trump wanted him to do. They're talking about stuff like now, let's say Medicaid, okay, which is supposed to be a health care program for the poor. But if you're an able-bodied person and you could work, why should you be subjected to work requirements? Just for that, which is now in the papers today. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when we move forward with this reconciliation package, which is going to deal with all things tax related, I think those are the kind of things we're going to try to do, to have work requirements. People support that. People support that.
Probably 80-20.
Right? If you're able-bodied, they want a safety net for people who really do need the help. But most people believe that if you're able to work, you should go work. And it was supposed to be a temporary, especially you got the SNAP program, same deal.
Same deal. Food stamps and SNAP.
Exactly. So
any job benefits, if you're able-bodied, you should work.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to get back to that.
I mean, this is Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich 30 years ago.
Well, I think one of the reasons, Larry, they're losing their minds, and the Democrats have become sort of the guardians of permanent Washington. They're terrified of what's going to be exposed. USAID is the tip of the iceberg. It's a great place to start because there's a lot of fraud and abuse. But it is the tip of the iceberg. As we open up the books here, the American people, this is a real important moment, I think, for Republicans to be on the side of good government and be reformers, which is what the 2024 cycle was all about. It was about disruptors versus the establishment. So let's go.
Transparency. They're talking about looking at the FDA, Federal Drug Administration, or the CDC, which was the least transparent operation in the history of the earth, as we know from the Tony Fauci days. These are things taxpayers have a right to know. A lot of stuff we don't need. I mean, Elon Musk is not changing policy so much as he's trying to reform and improve efficiency, which sounds like a cliche, but over the years, you're talking trillions.
Right, and I think this is putting meat on the bones when people talk about how the administrative state has gotten out of control.
Yes.
This is actually what that means, right? These people are unaccountable. They work in agencies you've never even heard of. If they issue a guidance letter, let alone a rule that operates as a law that Congress never passed, it could destroy your livelihood, take away your liberty. We look no further what OSHA did with the vaccine mandate. So now we're seeing dollars and cents attached now to these bureaucracies that have totally lost their way and, quite frankly, are rogue. So this is what he talked about, President Trump. We actually have the ability now to identify this waste, and let's go after it. I really do think now's the time.
So this stuff should go into whatever budget deal we come up with.
Yes, because we're going to get a lot of savings from this.
A lot of savings from this, and I don't think it's either or. My plea is that tax cuts have to go in early. If you wait until the end of the year, corporations won't know, small businesses won't know, individuals won't know. You want to burst through. You want to get a complete economic resurgence. I call it the blue-collar boom. You don't need $5 trillion in tax cuts right off the bat, as some of my conservative friends are saying in the House. You don't need that. Basically, the Trump tax cuts, extending them is cost-free. I'm saying it's cost-free. Mike Crapo, you know, your colleague is saying it's cost-free. It's a baseline argument with CBO. CBO just said, oh, we missed by $2 trillion, $1.9 trillion. It came in $1.9 trillion in revenues, higher than we thought 7 years ago.
That's right. And that's why I accept the premise.
Therefore,
yes, this leads to growth. All the people who were screaming that the sky was going to fall back in 2017, revenues went up. In fact, if we went back to just the 2019 budget where we were spending about $4 trillion, okay, if we went back to that, we would, because we're taking in about $5 trillion now, we'd have $1 trillion surplus. Now, whether or not we get there or not, we're talking about $6 trillion. But the point is, if we just went back to spending levels of just a few years ago, pre-COVID, we would have budget surpluses. And I think that's how we have to reorient to this town to actually be responsive to taxpayers.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm good with
that. But
I
agree. These tax cuts, we can't let them expire. It's a multi-trillion-dollar calamity for the economy.
Right.
They do pay for themselves. But I also think this is an opportune time to actually start reduce spending as well.
I've always wanted to reduce spending. I do. I've always wanted to reduce spending, but I like to grow the economy too. Can you just help me out? One last thing. Panama.
Yeah.
All right. So I read Marco Rubio, Secretary Rubio goes to Panama, and it seems to be all lovey-dovey, but now it turns out Panama, they're not going to give us concessions on tolls. I'm not reading any place that the Chinese will be removed from the ports at the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. I think Mr. Trump is exactly right to finger Panama with the Chinese influence, and it breaks the Panama Neutrality Act that was put together when the canal was turned over. What's going on there? Does anybody know? Or are we just going to let China continue to do what it's doing, which is bad?
Well, we can't. President Trump's been very clear. I think it was good that Secretary Rubio was there, his first trip, to sort of put an exclamation point on what President Trump was talking about. I have a Senate resolution. I think the Senate should speak on this because, after all, the Senate approved this treaty in the late 1970s that gave away the Panama Canal, which was a mistake. However, the one thing we got out of that, Larry, was a promise of neutrality. We didn't give the Panama Canal to China. It was given to Panama. And the truth is, China controls both ports on either end of the canal. They can turn those on and they can turn them off like they do with other Belt and Road initiatives around the world. They have surveillance equipment on cranes that are there. We move military goods and ships through that canal, and about 54% of our commerce runs through that place. So it is in the core national interest of the United States of America to make sure that is neutral. And if they can't guarantee that, all options are on the table. So they're breaking the deal.
So this story is going to continue.
It's going to continue. Yep.
And you remember who it was that opposed the Panama Canal Treaty with all of his heart and soul.
Who was that?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan did. That's right. It was part of the 1980 election.
You know what day is it today? It's Ronald Reagan's birthday.
All right.
Well, I just thought I'd put that. It was not a quiz. You're 10 times smarter than I am.
Well, I was 3 years old. I was 3 years old when the Panama Canal thing went through. But yes, I was a son of the Reagan Revolution.
I was 29 when I became his assistant OMB director. Just saying. Senator Eric Schmitt, wonderful to have you on the
Good to be
set.
with you, Larry.
Terrific stuff.